Hi, Nancy Mueller here with another Empowerment CPR segment. A lot of people tell me that they are trying to get the law of attraction to work into their life and they can't get it to work. They don't know what they're looking for and they're convinced that it doesn't work. But here's the thing, the law of attraction is working all the time, 24/7. Whether you believe it, whether you don't believe it, whether you see it, whether you don't see it, it's completely working 100% 24/7. So I often find that there are people who think the law of attraction is not working in their life and they're not able to manifest what they want. So I thought I would create this Empowerment CPR segment to give you an example of one of the many, many awesome law of attraction manifestations that I have manifested into my life to help you with an example of what to look for. Because maybe it's not that it's not working in your life, maybe no one has ever taught you what to look for. All right, so you ready for this? You know, there are two things that I credit to who I am today, what has made me who I am or brought me this far, whatever you want to describe it. And those two things are martial arts and Jack Canfield. Early on, when I was first introduced to the work of Jack Canfield, he was doing a lot of work teaching self-esteem and the importance of raising your self-esteem. That's when I was introduced to Jack, years and years ago. I got a hold of a cassette tape, and in this cassette tape, it was just so fabulous information that I had never heard before in my whole life. And I thought, wow, could this be true? So I listened to that tape over and over and over again, and every time I had a limiting belief come up, a doubt in my mind about something I couldn't do, I would remind myself that, according to Jack, I could do it. So I would think opposite and create what I wanted to create. So is it any wonder that when I wrote my first book, I really wanted to somehow thank Jack and let him know what an inspiration he had been to me in my career. So when the book was ready to be published, I was trying to think, how would I get a copy to Jack Canfield with a little note thanking him for everything that he does? Okay, so since I don't know the man personally, I was thinking, how am I going to do this? See, there's a reason that the word action is in the word attraction. You have to take action. You can't just sit around and say, I'm wishing, I'm hoping, I'm praying. It doesn't work like that. You have to take action. So I was trying to figure out how could I get a copy of my book into Jack's hands. And then I found out that he was going to be the guest speaker in a group that I'm involved in. And he was going to be speaking on Sunday. It was a 3-day event in Arizona. All right, well, I live in California, so the first action, right, was to get me to Arizona. All right, first step. So I bought a ticket for the 3-day event, and I started thinking, since Jack's going to be speaking on Sunday, there's a good chance that he'll stay at the same hotel, he'll check in on Saturday to be ready to speak on Sunday morning. So I thought, this is easy. I will simply put a copy of the book and the note in a white envelope, give it to the front desk at the hotel, and put Jack Canfield on it so they would deliver it to his room. Pretty tricky, eh? Another action item. Okay, so I arrived on a Thursday night. I checked into my room and I went out to dinner. I came back and I put my key in the door and it didn't work. And I thought, wow, that's weird. I mean, I've stayed at a lot of hotels and I've never not had the key work. So I went down to the front desk, I got another key, went back up to my room, no problem. The next morning, Friday morning, this first day of the event, I went to the event, and at 10 o'clock, when we broke for a break, I decided to go up to my room rather than fight the thousands of people in the bathroom. So I went up to my room and I put the key in the door, and it didn't fit. It didn't work. And I thought, what? Again? So I went down to the lobby and I asked for another key. This time I asked for 2 keys because I thought, what are the odds that this would happen to me 2 times? So I went back up to my room. I put the key in. It worked. No problem. Went back to the meeting. Friday after the meeting, I went back into my room, put the key in the lock. It didn't work again. And I thought, this is really strange. Luckily, I had a second key. I put the second key in the lock, went in, not a problem. Okay, so Saturday morning comes and I go to the event. 10 o'clock break comes. I decide to go back up to my room. Now using the second key, put it in the door. It didn't work. What? Are you kidding me? This is crazy. So I got on the elevator. I went back down to the lobby. I went into the lobby. Who do you think was standing right there talking to a couple people? You got it, Jack Canfield. So I went over to the front desk. I got another key. I walked over to where Jack was talking to some people and waited. And when he caught my eye, I just smiled and said, I'm really looking forward to hearing you speak tomorrow, Jack. And he said, thank you. And I said, yeah. And then I went to the elevator to go back up to the meeting. Well, in this particular hotel, there were two sets of elevators. One from the floor we were on to like the 18th floor, and then the second set of elevators went from floor 19 to the top of the building. So my particular floor was on the second set of the elevators. So I was standing outside of the elevators, waiting for the elevator doors to open, and I hear Jack and his assistant walking towards the elevators, and they went to the other elevators. And then I heard Jack say, there must be another set of elevators. What does that mean? That means they were on the way to my set of elevators, right? Right. So I just promptly held the doors open, and when they got there, the three of us were in the elevator. And I was smiling, and I just thought, wow, fortune has really smiled on me. This is great. And Jack looks at me and he goes, how are you doing? And I said, I'm fantastic. And he said, whoa, fantastic. That's awesome to hear. What makes you fantastic? And I said, well, I just wrote my first book. It's being published, and I'm really excited. And he said, wow, congratulations. Good for you. Maybe I'll have a chance to read it someday. And I said, well, I actually know you'll have a chance to read it because I sent a copy to your room. And he kind of looked at me and he goes, really? And I said, yep, I do learn from the best, Jack. And then my elevator door opened, was on my floor. So I got off and I was thinking, yes, not only did I have a chance to send the book to his room, but now he was able to put a face with the book and the name. How cool was that? But wait, the universe wasn't done with me. No. So the next morning, Sunday morning, I'm really looking forward to hearing Jack speak at the event. I went in, I sat down in my seat. Jack comes on stage to loud applause. Everyone's really excited to hear him speak. And right before he started talking, he looked at the audience and he said, before I start talking, I just wanted to let you all know that yesterday I talked with a woman on the elevator and she had just written her first book. I went, what? And all my friends are texting me, girlfriend, he's talking about you. And he said, it was a really awesome book. And then he holds it up and he says the name, the title, the author. And I looked around and everyone in the audience is frantically writing down this book that Jack Canfield has just suggested to them. How cool is that? You know, when we tell the universe exactly what we want, we're putting limitations on what we really want. When we just learn to just say, this is what I want and more, because I certainly got way more than I ever expected. And I want you to think about something. If I had gotten upset because the key didn't fit in the door, I could have reacted a totally different way through this whole thing, right? Right. But I didn't. I didn't get upset. I just felt, you know, it's all good. I'm at a hotel. I'll just go down and get another key. It all worked. So the next time that you think the law of attraction isn't working for you, maybe you just have to rethink your belief. Maybe you just have to look a little harder. Or maybe you have to stop being so negative and start looking at the positives in life. This is Nancy Mueller with another Empowerment CPR segment. And if you'd like to know any more about Empowerment CPR, please connect with me at nancymullerglobal.com. I look forward to connecting with you. Ciao for now.